I need you with me. And I need you to be strong.
So, what does James Cameron's explanation of the Avatar 3 title hint at? Could it be pointing to a major character's death? And what's even more intriguing is how Avatar 3 might bring back a dark, missing scene from the original movie, especially after the reveal of the Fire and Ash title. Let's dive into everything we know about the upcoming movie. After revealing the title of the third Avatar movie, Avatar Fire and Ash, James Cameron shed some light on its meaning, and it now seems likely that a major character, possibly Jake Sully, could meet their end in this installment. Avatar Fire and Ash is the highly anticipated third chapter in Cameron's record-breaking Avatar franchise. The first Avatar film, released in 2009, was praised for its unique concept and groundbreaking CGI. 13 years later, Avatar: The Way of Water revived the franchise with immense success and similar acclaim. Now, Cameron is pushing the saga forward with the newly titled Fire and Ash. At this stage, it's clear that the Avatar movie franchise is a massive long-term project. Following the release of The Way of Water, Cameron revealed his plans to write and direct 5 Avatar movies in total. He also hinted that the franchise could continue beyond that, though he might not direct Avatar 6 or 7. Nevertheless, Avatar Fire and Ash marks a significant leap forward, showing that the Avatar story is far from over. However, with such an epic tale come epic sacrifices, and Cameron's recent comments about Fire and Ash suggest we should brace ourselves for some major ones. The title, Fire and Ash, already suggests a darker direction for the Avatar franchise, but James Cameron's recent explanation only deepens this interpretation. In an interview with Rotten Tomatoes, Cameron explained the symbolism behind the title, noting that fire represents hatred, violence, trauma, and possible misuse of power, while ash signifies grief and the characters grappling with the destruction they've caused. This all points to a devastating loss in the third movie. Set to release on December 19, 2025, Avatar Fire and Ash seems poised for significant conflict and possible character deaths, given Cameron's confirmation that the title reflects themes of violence and grief. Cameron has already shown he's not hesitant to kill off characters. Avatar: The Way of Water saw the death of Jake and Neytiri's eldest son, Neteyam. These kinds of losses are almost expected at this point, as they raise the stakes and make the audience more invested in the story, knowing that beloved characters could be lost at any moment. That said, the biggest character Avatar 3 could potentially kill off is Jake Sully. As the lead character and the franchise's most notable hero, Jake's death would be a game-changer. Audiences have followed his journey from falling in love with Pandora in the 2009 film to fighting for his family's survival in Avatar: The Way of Water. Jake represents the audience's connection to Pandora, so his death would be a massive shift, but it might be necessary for the future of the series. While Jake's death would be the most impactful, other potential losses in Avatar Fire and Ash would also be devastating. Neytiri, another beloved character, would mark the end of an era if she were to die. The loss of any of Jake and Neytiri's children would be heartbreaking, especially given their development in The Way of Water. Even Spider, who is technically an adopted Sully child, would be a significant loss. Whether or not these characters survive Fire and Ash, their lives will likely remain in danger in the upcoming Avatar movies. When you think about it, killing off Jake Sully in Avatar 3 actually makes a lot of sense. The Avatar franchise needs to move into its next era, and Jake's death could be the key to that transition. While Jake started as the main character, his children are clearly being set up as the new protagonists. If Jake is killed in Fire and Ash, it would pave the way for his children to take over and lead the story forward. Though it would be a heartbreaking loss, it could inject new life into the series, keeping it fresh and exciting for future films. If James Cameron decides to kill off Jake Sully in Avatar Fire and Ash, his death needs to be a cinematic moment that no one forgets. Like Dr. Grace Augustine's death in the first Avatar, Jake's death should reflect his significance to the franchise. He would need to go out in a way that highlights his heroism, likely through a sacrificial act to protect his family. If done right, Jake's death could make Fire and Ash not just another sequel, but a truly epic and meaningful chapter in the saga. Although the title Avatar 3 Fire and Ash doesn't give away much about the movie's plot, it does connect back to a deleted scene from the original Avatar in 2009. With several more Avatar movies planned, it's clear that James Cameron's franchise will continue to grow, especially after the huge box office success of Avatar: The Way of Water. That movie's ending left plenty of room for further exploration, not just of the Sully family's story, but also of the larger world of Pandora. Now, Avatar 3 is set to pick up where that story left off. James Cameron recently confirmed the title of Avatar: Fire and Ash, which shouldn't surprise anyone following the sequel's development. Cameron had hinted that this movie would introduce the Fire Na'vi, much like The Way of Water introduced the Metkayina, the Water Na'vi. These Fire Na'vi are expected to bring more conflict to the series, with Cameron revealing that they will showcase a darker side of the Na'vi that we haven't seen before. However, the name Fire and Ash might also be tied to something else entirely. Interestingly, Avatar: Fire and Ash could see Pandora engulfed in flames, fulfilling a vision from a deleted scene in the original movie. In this cutscene, Jake Sully experienced a dream hunt, a Na'vi vision quest where he hunted Pandora, who was consumed by fire due to the RDA's attacks. Although this scene was cut from the final version of Avatar, its imagery resurfaced in the opening of The Way of Water. The dream hunt's purpose is to provide a glimpse of one's future. Now, it seems like Avatar 3 will finally bring Jake's ominous vision to life. This would make sense, since the dream hunt is all about foreseeing the future, and with the ongoing conflict with the RDA, Jake's vision of Pandora burning could very well come true in the next installment. What remains unclear is whether Fire and Ash specifically refers to the destruction left by the RDA in Jake's former home. In The Way of Water, the Sully family moved to the Metkayina's seaside refuge to escape the RDA's attacks on their original village. Fans might interpret the title Fire and Ash as symbolizing the aftermath of Neteyam's death, with the ash representing grief and loss, while the fire reflects the unresolved anger and internal conflict within the Sully family. When Neytiri discovers that Spider secretly saved his father, Miles Quaritch, despite the RDA's role in Neteyam's death, it's likely she'll intensify her efforts to eliminate the human invaders. This could create significant tension between Spider and the Sully children, making Neytiri's subplot in Avatar 3 crucial to the movie storyline. Meanwhile, the increasingly aggressive tactics of the Fire Clan may introduce a more complex moral dynamic to the series. While the Na'vi's fight against the human invaders is clearly justified, as seen in Jake's heroic resistance during the supply train attack in The Way of Water, Cameron has hinted that the Fire Na'vi might not be as noble. This could add a layer of moral ambiguity to the conflict. The Fire Clan could end up causing significant destruction to Pandora, with the movie's title possibly referring to the damage inflicted on the planet as both sides engage in battle, potentially burning down parts of Pandora's precious forest in their struggle. So, what do you think? Will Jake's vision come to pass? And could Avatar 3 be the darkest chapter yet? Tell us your thoughts in the comments below. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below.